You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Thursday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
I'm gonna start doing something because I realized a few people messaged me. We do this thing when we're actually like live on the radio where we're like, if there's a video or a photo, text in, whatever, blah, blah. Obviously, you guys can't text in.
Well, you can. We're not here.
Yeah. So what we're gonna start doing is we're gonna start putting it in the bio there or whatever.
The
show notes,
Yeah.
I guess, whatever it is on Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. So that way, if we're like, hey, we're talking about this video, you can see it.
Yeah. If you ever hear us talking about a video, check the notes of the episode of the podcast that you're listening to, because starting now, what is this, episode 39, going forward, you'll be able to see what we're talking about, because we'll try and include as many links as we can.
Link in bio. I've always wanted to say that.
There you go.
Swipe up to subscribe.
My Instagram account was never big enough to do that.
Smash that fucking like button, dude.
I know you're the young one on the show, but I still think you're too old to say that.
Like and subscribe, guys.
It's lit, fam.
Okay, cut that shit out.
Yeah, that's
dude.
right. Now you know how it feels.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I want you to give me a hearty handshake. It's been a pleasure working with you. We're all going to die.
I mean, eventually, yeah.
Oh, probably sooner than later. Google has announced that their DeepMind AI conglomerate, which, by the way, just calling it DeepMind, that's a supervillain, right? 100%.
Sure.
The new Google DeepMind AI has learned how to model DNA, RNA, and, quote, all of life's molecules.
That's scary.
We taught the robot how to make DNA.
Why?
So we're all screwed now.
Why do they keep doing this stuff?
On this show, if you're a regular listener of the Brock and Dalby show, you will know that Brock is the anti-AI, kind of almost anti-techie in some, because you think it's going too far.
Well, here's the thing, and I've said this a million times. How many movies have we seen where all this stuff has happened and it's never worked out for us, so why do we keep doing it?
And then I, Dalby, love to bring these AI stories to the show just to get you wound up. But in this case, I am 100% lockstep beside you in a why did we do this?
I didn't need to do it. I mean, I guess there's efficiencies and stuff like that, but it doesn't make sense to me.
So what they're saying is that this newest model from Google DeepMind that they're calling AlphaFold 3 will help researchers with medicine and agriculture and material science and drug development testing. You know, we're always worried about testing new drugs on humans. They're saying that maybe with this, they can do the testing and not have to actually hurt any humans.
See, this is actually really scary because one of the jobs that I thought was safe from robots and AI would be kind of the medical field. That's what I thought when the robots take over, that anyone who's like a medical professional or anything like that might have some security, but
right.
I guess that's winding down.
Yeah, even that, even making a couple extra bucks by letting science test stuff on you. That's being taken over by AI now.
Is there any job that is actually safe from the robots and AI at this point?
At this point, I honestly don't think so. Like, I think before last night when I read this story, I think that I might have been willing to still fight the fight of like, oh, robots can't replace all of us. Some people will always be, but I mean, we even know our parent company is investing in AI technology to do radio.
And that scares the hell out of me.
Scares the hell out of us.
I mean, even like smut. There's anime, there's sex robots and stuff now.
The AI is so far ahead of us in smut, we don't even know.
I've seen in Japan they have robotic strippers now. Like,
that is...
Nobody's safe, honestly.
If I can't make money taking my clothes off, what are we even doing anymore?
I mean, we're just that much closer to RoboCops, I guess, now. Like,
when the robots take over, and it's not an if, it's a when.
Yeah.
What will we do? Like, assuming they don't just murder us all, assuming the robots, when they take over the planet, because we've built them to do so, let us live.
I think we're just going to become like a Planet of the Apes situation where like the humans run into the forest maybe. And
Maybe?
I don't know.
Will they force us to do all the jobs that we've made robots do?
No, because they can probably do it more efficiently at the end of the day.
No, but I'm talking about like the embarrassing ones. Like we built robots to literally travel around our homes sucking up all of our dirt. Will the robots then force us to do the same thing?
No, because I think they know that there'll be kind of like a return of like not wanting to do things. Like they know how lazy we are. They're learning that every single day. Alexa, every time that you ask her to do something, is realizing how big of a piece of garbage you are. I don't think they're going to want us around, honestly. Maybe like some people who can work on like hydro and stuff and electricity, but
I just worry that the robots are going to kill most of us and decide to try and embarrass the rest of us. That's for their own twisted robotic amusement.
They don't even need us for food or anything, dude. So like they literally do not need us. We need them is the problem.
Why did the robots keep humans alive in The Matrix? It's been so long since I saw that movie.
Never actually seen The Matrix. So.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is that is like the Bible for not trusting AI. You've never even seen. You're ahead of the game. You're a robot hater from day one. Good for you.
I've seen too much stuff that freaks me out, dude. I don't need to choose a red or a blue pill.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Dalby, how could you not remember that the humans powered the machine in the Matrix?
That's
Remember they were all plugged in? Neo was plugged in?
That's right. They used our like brain waves to keep the machines
Yeah, they were in
on.
the pool with all the plug-ins stuck to them. And
Oh, well, that's fake
Yeah.
because most of us are so stupid now. Why would they want to use our brainwaves?
I'm not a Leafs fan. Speak for yourself.
Hey. They have these AI robots that have smarter conversations with themselves than I do with people on a regular basis.
100%.
Yeah, okay, I can't disagree there.
Right? I know I'm not wrong on that.
It's funny because we were talking about Google has developed their AI to now be able to like build DNA. It's got our DNA all figured out.
Basically, the end is near. The robots are taking over.
So we asked what kind of job you would want. Dustin texted in and said he'd like to be like a mechanic, especially for the, as he called them, fembots.
I do like Eric's text. He said, dude, I'm just going to do whatever the robot overlords want. I will do as I'm told.
That is kind of it, right? Like, at some point when the AI take over, we just have to hope that they think that we have some value and that they assign us jobs of some sort.
We got a friend of the show, Albert, on the phone. You had a pretty good theory if you could share it with the classroom.
The robots aren't really going to need us. We're just going to be just kind of there. And I feel like they're going to look at us as like some kind of cute little animal that they just have around the house, like those like trophy dogs that sit in a cup, you know?
So we're going to become pets, basically?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I love the idea of a robot sitting around their living room, petting a human on the head, going, did I rescue him or did he rescue me, you know?
I got him from the local shelter, guys.
They have stickers on the back of them, like bumper stickers that say "My human saved my life."
At Robot Christmas, the kid robots unwrap a human under the tree. Oh my God, Mom, this is amazing!
Mom, Dad, can I keep him? I found him on the street.
Now that begs the question, if there are robot pets, you've even mentioned this, will there be robot zoos?
Robot what, sorry?
Zoos. Like, will there be like an
Zoos?
attraction
Oh, yeah.
the robots go to and where they have humans in different
All
pens?
the biological creatures just held up in pens somewhere. And like this was once upon a time this, yeah.
Yeah, we're all going to end up in cages one day.
You know, he's right. He kind of used the phrasing there. Is it a zoo or is it a museum with live exhibits? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it harkens back to a bygone
We're just
era.
going to become like a big circus one day. They take us around and make us balance balls on our heads.
I also love the idea that one day robot children will be able to make a living by walking humans.
I like the zoo idea because I think we could go back to our primate roots and start throwing poop at each other.
Swinging from trees. You know what the problem is, though? Is we all like to think that we're all special and unique and interesting, but there's not enough room in the zoo for all of us. Only a few of us are going to make the cut, and brother, I don't think I'm interesting enough for the zoo.
They're going to be pointing in the cage and be like, hey, look at the fat ginger one.
Is he napping again? He only wakes up to eat.
The The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We live in a world where everyone's trying to better their mental health or mental well-being, which is good.
Yeah, what was that trend a while ago? Going on a stupid walk for my stupid mental health?
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Everyone's doing therapy and stuff now, which is good. If you're looking for something new to try, maybe you can make a trip out to Alberta and spend $2,000 doing a rage ritual.
Well, that sounds like the opposite of good mental health.
I just sent you a video on Facebook.
Okay.
There's no sound or anything on it, but watch
Sure.
it. Basically, people are spending around $2,000
Come on!
to go out for a weekend, go into the forest with some lady who is called the spiritual fairy godmother.
Oh,
And describe what you're seeing there, Dalby.
these women are taking sticks, branches. This one woman is hitting the ground like it's a drum set. Like she's got two little sticks, just smashing them into the ground. And then the video is interspersed between clips of the women hitting the ground with sticks and then just screaming as hard as they can.
They say that it's supposed to embody their rage through primal screams and,
Sure.
of course, smacking sticks on the ground, which like, I don't mean to knock it. I'm sure it works.
Yeah.
But spending $2,000 to go into the forest with some lady for a weekend to do this?
That does feel like, I guess the idea is you're not paying for like forest access. She's probably not pre-picking out your beating sticks or whatever. You're essentially paying for the guidance, right? To take you on the journey.
Well, and as far as I can see, it looks like it's an open trail. Imagine
Yeah.
just going for a hike and seeing this, dude.
You go out into the woods, you find that perfect walking stick, your heart is just singing as you're one with nature, and all of a sudden you come along a bunch of women all just going, ah! Ah!
I'm probably not even describing it good enough. If you want to see the video for yourself, text RAGE to 762-555. We'll send it your way.
I will say, it looks like it would be satisfying as hell.
Yeah, I just have a hard time paying for it because
Right.
it's the same thing you would do when you were like 12 years old if you went into the forest by yourself.
Honestly, we could just get people together. Like, let's all just meet on a trail. We can pick sticks, and we can scream, and we can hit the ground. We don't have to pay anyone $2,000, and then we just go our separate ways.
You would have to have like a designated spot in the forest. I mean, this is why rage rooms have become so popular. I
Yeah.
mean, there's the Breaking Brad one that I've been to there.
Right.
15 minutes, you go in there, you feel like a whole new person after you leave, honestly.
You just get that rage out of your system, you deliver it through your hands into objects, and then you're good.
Breaking, smashing stuff, it's a whole stress reliever in itself, man,
Yeah.
honestly.
And a good scream, it helps too.
Yeah.
Just letting that, like, primal rage come out.
Yeah.
Woo! That'll change your whole perspective.
Should have rage rooms at work, honestly.
Every office should have one. And I guarantee you, every office, especially these days, as more and more people are like working from home and stuff like that, y'all got empty offices. Look at this building. We could put 17 rage rooms in here.
It would save people from blowing a gasket, saying dumb stuff at work. Like, if you could just go in and smash a couple glass plates.
Yeah.
Like, instead of having a smoke break or something.
Yeah.
That would make the world such a better place.
Put a little piece of paper on the outside of the room. Like when, if you're in the corporate world and you've ever had to sign out a boardroom for a presentation or something.
Yeah.
You just go in there like, I'm going to take modules 3, 6, and 7. I got some tough meetings today. And that gives you 15 minutes each time to just go in and just,
Every office should have a Kyle wall where you can just punch a hole into the drywall. You didn't like how things went in the meeting. I don't know, maybe a customer was a real dick. You just go and you give it one just haymaker.
Then at the end of the week, maintenance comes in, they cut that sheet down, they hang another one, and it's good to go for
They
next
just
week.
mud it up every day.
Absolutely.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
What is the most satisfying thing to break?
It really is any excuse to play Stone Cold music for you, eh?
Well, glass shattering has to be up there for sure.
Dude, and especially if you're dropping it from any kind of height. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny because one of the most embarrassing things that can happen to you at a bar or a restaurant is knocking your glass off the table and it shatters. And everybody, somebody's going to make the jokes and all that. But secretly, in everybody's head, they went,
It's one of the most devastating things when you're not prepared for it.
True.
But yeah, like I went to that Breaking Bad Smash room, and they just had a bunch of plates in there, and just throwing those at the wall was the best thing ever, honestly.
Because it's something you don't get to do. If you did that at home, Courtney would be like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Right? But to get to go somewhere where they're like, no, let us offer you some plates.
On a lighter note, a lot of people are texting in bubble wrap, which is one of those things that I wouldn't even think about as breaking, but technically you are when you're popping it,
When you
right?
pop it, yeah. The whole sound is you basically bursting the bubble, so to speak.
That's an ultimate stress reliever as you're going. And then when you get one that won't go, and you're pushing on it, and you're just like, come on.
I think, personally, that ruins the satisfaction. If I'm going through it, I'm pop, 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 and then you get that one that fights back, I get mad again. It's like it resets my satisfaction meter.
Yeah.
I like the ones when you order something off of, say, like Amazon, and they give you the big air bags.
Oh, yeah.
And if you give those a squeeze, it's not the 1,000 little pops of bubble wrap, but it's that one satisfying boom.
Even, the box, too.
Oh,
like when I worked
smashing a
at
box.
kitchens and I'd have to go out and crush boxes. You don't even rip the tape off. You give them an old stomp like you're the guys in Office Space beating up the fax machine.
That's just it, right? If I get boxes now, I'm got my little cutter out. I'm cutting the tape. I'm breaking it down to fit into the recycling bin or whatever. But same, when I worked at KFC, at the end of a day, it was like, who had the worst day today? That person would get to take the boxes out back and just beat the absolute snot out of them until they were flat enough to put in.
Even if you can't get the tape off of it and you take your keys or like a box cutter and you start acting like you're shivving it at it.
Shank the box. You like that?
If you need to relieve some stress, pretend like you're doing gang initiations on a box or something.
You just need to commit crimes against cardboard. You'll feel better.
You'll feel 10 times better.
Going back to what you said about glass, in terms of just like a sound, when someone takes a big thing of ice, like an ice that's formed on, say you leave your patio furniture out in the winter, and it forms that ice square or circle, and you get it out to the driveway and go, and it's almost glass, but it has more of like this weird
That
nature.
honestly becomes sexual at one point, dude. That sound is just like
you're just standing there fanning yourself off afterwards, like, oh, that was good.
It's like that.
That was good.
And like, have you ever smashed a fluorescent light bulb before?
Buddy, I was a pro wrestler. Of course I have.
ECW. I'm gonna need to take a few minutes here.
Take a lap.
Yeah.
Cold shower, brother.
This is the Brock and Delby Podcast.
Tomorrow night we are celebrating the 30th anniversary of Weezer's The Blue album.
Say it ain't so.
On the Sunday Night Vinyl series, we are playing front to back Little Queen by Heart. And I was thinking maybe we could play a little game I like to call Weezer or Heart this morning.
So we got two artists that we're spotlighting this weekend, and that's the game.
I'm going to give you lyrics, and you have to tell me, is it a Weezer song or is it a Heart song?
From the inventors of The Quiz, the most failed game show in radio history, comes Let's Try Another One.
There's not really much parallels between these two bands.
Not really.
But
I guess, to be fair, if there's not a lot of similarities, that should make it easier for me, right?
You'd think, but some of these lyrics are kind of misleading, I think.
Oh,
so,
God.
Let's see.
All right, so you give me a lyric, I say Heart or Weezer, that's the game.
That's it.
All right.
You ready?
No judging.
Okay. You can't resist her. She's in your bones. She is your marrow and your ride home. Is it Weezer or is it Heart?
You know what? I was honestly leaning Heart until the ride home part, and that feels very nerdy Weezer.
That is Weezer Only in Dreams, which is from the Blue album, yes.
As soon as you said it was like the marrow and the bone, I'm like, whoa, it feels kind of like Heart, like
right?
crafting an image. And she's a ride home, like, oh, yeah, I guess I don't want to call mom.
All right, let's see what you think about this one.
Okay.
Such a drama queen, a hot mess, underneath her temper, underneath her dress.
Oh, that feels like Heart. Ah!
That's Heart, Beautiful Broken right there.
Whoa, that's a good song.
2 for 2, look at you here.
Okay.
All right, let's see if you get this one. Always running after time, catching your fancy with rhymes, shining on the front page again. Is that Heart or Weezer?
Again, it feels like Weezer would be more nerdy, and Heart is more like imagery. So I'll say Heart for that one.
That is Heart. That's Little Queen right
Okay.
there. All right. I'll bring home the turkey if you bring home the bacon.
That's got to be Weezer, right?
That's Weezer.
That's so dumb.
That's all score Joe.
And again, I'm not even critiquing Weezer. If you I'm just saying they got a style.
Yeah. If you blew it, don't reject it. Just sit drawing up the plans and re-erect it. Is that Heart or is that Weezer?
Sounds like Grandmaster Flash for the
It's kind of a bar, isn't it?
a little bit.
Yeah.
I will say, because it's a little wordy, I'll say Weezer.
That is Weezer.
Wow.
That's Photograph.
What is happening here?
All right, final one here. Such a drama queen. Oh, wait, no,
Wait,
I already did that.
you did this
I
one.
did that one. Don't you dare deny me. Now walk those legs right over here. Give me what I'm dying for.
Oh, that's got to be Heart.
That's Heart.
Heart's sexy.
6 for 6 here. Look at you.
Is this the new quiz? Can we make this the new quiz? Wow.
Is it Heart or is it Weezer?
I'm clapping for myself. That feels bad.
That's damn well impressive, brother.
Thank you.
I now want Weezer to do a cover of Heart songs, and I want Heart to do covers of Weezer songs.
Oh, you know what? I bet you that Heart doing Buddy Holly could go. Or Say It Ain't So.
Yeah.
From Heart.
Yeah.
Oh, she could belt that song.
My Name is Jonas.
Okay. You know what? Weird song, but I'm willing to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to hear it.
We need Heart and Weezer to do a collaboration like Jay-Z and Linkin Park did back in the day.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Another tough news day for the folks down at Tesla who still want us to believe that self-driving cars are not only the future, but they're here now.
I mean, we were just talking about robots a few minutes ago. Self-driving cars is just another bad idea.
A man driving a quote-unquote self-driving Tesla has posted dash cam footage that he had of he's driving along, and it looks like it's kind of like a country-ish road, but it's probably not too far from town, because as he's driving, single lane both ways, double yellow in the middle, there's a cyclist on his side of the road. And the self-driving car senses the cyclist. That's good. We're not going to plow through the guy on the bike. But it doesn't even wait. They're going through a blind corner. And it just goes, we have to move into the left lane to get around the cyclist. And Buddy at the last second has to grab control of his own steering wheel and swerve back into his lane because his Tesla tried to drive him head on into a collision with a cop cruiser.
That's the thing, man. This technology is just not ready yet. Imagine going head on into a cop car. No one's even going to believe you because you're driving a Tesla.
That's just it, man, because, obviously, we're having this discussion under the assumption that nobody gets hurt. Because if it's a major accident, it's a whole different thing. But getting into a fender bender with a cop while you're in a Tesla, he's obviously going to assume, oh, what, were you sleeping? What, were you on your phone? Were you not paying attention?
If anybody hit me with their Tesla, I'm automatically going to assume that they weren't driving themselves.
The lawsuit writes itself at that point. And if you're crashing into a cop car, it's even worse because you know the cop's not going to get out and be like, his first words are not, are you okay? You're under arrest.
A cop car is hands down probably the worst vehicle that you could ever crash into.
Honestly, I would say the only thing worse would be if you crashed into an ambulance that had the sirens on. An ambulance actively on a call.
Yeah, an ambulance actually could be the best thing to crash into.
Well, if you get hurt, right, they can look after you. But if they were on their way to somebody else.
An ambulance and maybe a tow truck could be the two vehicles that would be really clutch to actually crash into.
Getting into a fender bender, just catching front corners with a tow truck, and the guy's like, all right, well, I got you. You're gonna jump on the back.
Usually there's not a good idea of a vehicle to crash into, but
No.
those two would be it.
You know what's a bad one? If you get into a fender bender with a bus. That would suck. Because A, whatever you're driving is probably not a bus. So you are losing the size battle. But then, say you just get into like a little clip, right?
Everyone's staring at you.
You got 20 to 30 people all going, I saw that.
Well, you could have multiple lawsuits too on top of that, right?
They're all filing off the bus, and all of a sudden they're just like, ow, my neck.
Especially if it's a school bus, you just have a bunch of kids giving you a middle finger at the back.
You imagine, you would immediately become such a villain if you hit a bus full of kids. Like, even just like the bus is at a red light, and you just kind of tap it. Everybody's like, oh, how could you do that to the children?
Although, as a kid, that would have been the best day going to school if the bus got hit.
No. You're coming into the class like, all right, everybody, I got a story.
Dude, I'd be sitting on the bus and I'd be like, I don't have to take that quiz today.
If a school bus gets in a fender bender on the way to school, do the kids get the day off, or do they just like, no, we'll get you there?
Oh, dude, if it was me, I'd be like, my neck, my back.
You're listing off every bone and body part you learned about in health class, hoping one of them sticks.
Absolutely, dude. You gotta milk the hell out of that one.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You were talking about hitting a bus. My daughter hit a bus.
No.
Yeah, she hit the back end of an access bus.
Oh, no way,
that's
dude.
so much worse.
I know, it was crazy, but luckily nobody was on the bus. But when she told us, it was like, oh, are you kidding me?
Would you say that is the worst bus to crash into, though?
Oh.
Because, I mean, you've got city bus,
Yeah.
you've got access bus,
School bus.
school bus.
I would say the school bus would probably be the worst.
What about a bus carrying a bunch of prisoners to jail?
Oh, a jail bus?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow. Then that would be, that would be okay.
I think jail bus is not the worst unless in the collision it knocks open the back door. Then it's a problem.
And then everybody leaves.
I can take being flipped off by like a bunch of 8th graders. I don't know about a bunch of like Hell's Angels or 1%ers
I
staring
think
me
if you
down.
crash into the bus full of prisoners and you knock the door open, they're not flipping you off. They're going to dap you up on the way by. Like, hey, thanks, brother.
I think they might be pulling me out of my car, actually. Looks like we might be writing off all the vehicles today. It'd be full Grand Theft Auto immediately.
I was just going to say, imagine you get into the accident, you're feeling bad, you look up, you realize what bus it is, and then next thing you know, you're being GTA'd out of your car. That's a rough afternoon.
We're talking about what are the worst vehicles to crash into. Our text line is lit up with people saying a hearse.
Dude, honestly, any part of a funeral procession at all, but obviously, the hearse has got to be the worst one. Like, what do you say?
You have the casket fall out on you.
Oh God, it could all go so badly. And the good news is 50% of the people in the vehicle won't feel the collision, but like everybody's gonna stop and look.
I like this text that came in at 762-555. It says, maybe selfish, but whoever's dropping off my skip the dishes, if you hit their car, that would be detrimental to me and to them.
Wasn't there a thing? It was not long ago where like a cop pulled over a skip the dishes driver who had a bunch of warrants, and then the cop finished the delivery for them.
Oh, that's amazing.
They showed up at the house and they're like, hey, we arrested your driver, but here's your McDonald's.
That would suck so bad. You're like sitting at home. You do that like little message thing where you're being all passive aggressive to some
Yeah.
person online to skip the dishes.
Dude, you're watching the map and you're seeing this car get slowly closer and closer to your house. Then he gets pulled over or he gets into an accident. It gets towed. Now you're watching it go the other way. You're like, what is going on?
How bad would you feel if you were so angry about your skip order not coming through, and then you looked on the news the next day and saw that there was a tragic accident? You're like, I didn't get my fish fillet, though.
You know what? I think there would still be a part of me that would be on the app asking for a refund. Like, I want some credits for this.
I don't know if anyone works at a pizza place that's up at this hour, but the whole 30 minutes or it's free or 45 minutes, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Does that get voided if they get in an accident?
Oh,
Does it still come out of their paycheck? Or
Do they have to? You still get the free pizza if someone gets it. Well, I guess the pizza's got to get
would you
to
have sympathy for the pizza driver if he showed up and he was like, oh, I was just in a fender bender?
Sorry I'm late, but I did just get into a car accident. Do you still make him give you the free pizza, or are you a good person?
I'd be like, dude, show me the Carfax. Show me the Carfax and then we'll deal with this.
You're walking around his car looking for damage like you just got into the accident with him. I don't even see a dent on here, bro.
Listen, brother, I don't make the rules. Domino's does, all right?
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Let's see what he's got.
Good morning. Today's word is demiurge. It's demiurge. 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 I don't know. Demiurge. Anyways, it's self-sufficient or decisive power. Okay. Kind of sounds like a judge or the woman of the house. Anyways, that's about it. Cheers her up. Have a great one.
Thanks, Ed. All right, let's hear if he got
a little lost in the
Let's see
sauce
if he
on
got
that
the
one.
pronunciation right.
Demiurge.
Okay, you got it right the first time.
Demiurge.
Yeah. It says being responsible for the creation of the universe, the maker or creator of the world.
Damn.
Originally a common noun meaning craftsman or artisan as well.
Oh, okay. So if you got somebody like our buddy at Stone City Woodwork, he would be a demiurge.
I guess so.
He's a craftsman.
Even if you were going to go get some like fancy cheeses, would they be demiurge cheeses?
Do you guys have any of those demiurge cheeses?
Just looking for some demiurge bread.
I'm looking to.
Please go to a bakery and do this. Actually,
I'm looking to put together a charcuterie board with some demiurge cheeses
got
and
any
breads.
of that demiurge meat? Looking for that demiurge oil there. My wife sent me to get some of that demiurge oil.
The demiurge oil you dip the cheese and the bread in.
Also, it said craftsman as well. Once again, if you were on a job site today, look at someone and go, you're a master demiurge, and just walk away.
Guys like putting way too much effort into like a really small project, spending way. Hey, all right, listen, we get it. You're a demiurge. Get back to work.
I don't care what the rest of the guys say about you. You're a demiurge, dude.
I love that 90% of our examples for Ed's word of the day is something that'll make a coworker have to look up a dictionary to see if they're being insulted or not.
I mean, I didn't know what this word was until 30 seconds ago, dude. Demiurge. Use it wherever you can, and remember, don't ever explain what it means to someone either.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.